Hello again to my favorite mathematicians. I just want to take a few minutes to review how to annex a zero when it comes to dividing with decimals. So I've taken a problem from our review this morning, and this is number 8. It says, if 8 ounces of canned pumpkin have 82 calories, how many calories are in 1 ounce? And so we can see right off the bat they've already tried to throw us for a loop by putting 8 written out in word form instead of 8 ounces. So we know that we've got a total of 82 calories for all 8 ounces. And so we need to kind of work backwards and find out how many would be in 1 ounce. So I'm going to take my total, 82 ounces, and I'm going to divide it up amongst 8 ounces to come up with my quotient, which would be 1 ounce, one of those groups. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know that 8 can go into 8 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. Subtract. Bring down. I know that 8 can't go into 2. Nothing times 8 gives me 2 except for 0 coming closest with 8 times 0 is 0. So I know 8 times 0 is 0. Subtract. Okay, so now I've come to a point where I've got a remainder. And since we're working with decimals this time, I don't want this as a remainder. I want it as a decimal. So that means I'm going to have to add a decimal to my divisor and also add a 0. And so we know that in class we've brought our decimal up, just like playing that crane game at Walmart, goes right up, and our 0 goes down to help us out. And so now we've got 8 and 20. I know that 8 times 2 gets me closest to 20 with 16. I'm going to put my 2 up top. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract. I know that 20 minus 16 is 4. If you were going to borrow, 10 minus 6 gives me 4. 1 minus 1 gives me 0. Okay, and so now I've still come to my same problem where I've got 4 as the remainder, but I really need this as a decimal. So I'm going to add another 0 to help me out and drop it down. And I know that 8 and 40 are a set of numbers that I'm familiar with. I know that 8 times 5 gives me 40. And I can subtract, and now I've come up with nothing at the bottom, and so I know that I'm all finished dividing. So my quotient, or how many calories in 1 ounce, would be 10 and 25 hundredths for 1 ounce. If I wanted to check this, I could take my 10 and 25 hundredths, my quotient, and multiply it by my divisor. And hopefully when I'm done dividing, I should get 82 on the inside. I know that 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 4 gives me 20. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2. And 8 times 1 is 8. Now I need to remember to count my decimal places. 1 place, 2 places. And so in my answer, 1 place, 2 place, and I can drop it. So I've come up with 82. Now when I started, my dividend was 82. In order to help me keep dividing, I added a decimal and a 0, but we know this is just a ghost 0, and so it doesn't change my value of 82. In order for me to finish the problem, I added another ghost 0 to my hundredths place, but I know that all of these are the same value. They're still 82. It's just helped me to finish dividing, and so that's how you annex a 0.